Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Parker Nierenstein. This is Vehicle Virgins, and today I'm going to tell you why I'm starting to get really annoyed with Tesla and why I kind of regret buying my Tesla Plaid. I also feel like it's been so long since we've done a casual vlog in the canyons with the McLaren, so let's get it. Damn, look at this little thing. It has been absolutely pouring rain in Southern California recently, which has been awesome because look at all of the beautiful greenery. We have needed the rain, but it's made it a little bit harder to film. Look how gross the McLaren is right now. This thing is so dirty. I've had to drive it the last couple of days because I have a flat tire on the Plaid, which we'll talk about in a little bit. It's been one heck of a problem with that car getting flats. But let's take the McLaren out for a rip. 21,438 miles. This car has honestly been so epic. I know it doesn't get the love on the internet and from a lot of you guys like my Lamborghini Huracan did, but I wish I could explain through the camera how awesome this thing feels to drive. It's just so engaging and puts a smile on my face every single day. Now, I said I'd never sell this car, and 99% chance that is still the case. But I'm curious, what do you guys think if I sold this car and used that as the down payment for the new Lamborghini Aventador successor, the Revuelto? The spec of this car is so special to me that really can't get another one, and I love the roof scoop, but there is something epic about a V12 Lamborghini. So let me know, serious question, would you want me to sell the 600 LT and get the Revuelto instead? The mountains almost look fake right now with all the greenery. So spectacular. All right, time to head to my favorite driving road ever. Way too damn epic. Oh man. Damn, these people are like setting up a concert at the top of the canyon? All right, my tires are bald from the last track day, but we're gonna try a little launch control because I haven't done it in a while. With the extra horsepower, when the car was stock, the launch control was great, but with 900 horsepower, it doesn't launch as, it's a little sketch. To activate launch control, click this launch button right there. Launch mode active. Nope. That was with traction control on. Let's try it with traction control off. All right, launch mode, traction off. Oh, and we're spinning. Damn, I used to film here all the time for reviews, but I guess somebody bought that lot and put all these rocks there. R.I.P. At the top of the Malibu Canyons now, and it's time to talk about the Tesla. Now, I would have done this section of the video in the Tesla, except it has a flat tire and it's stuck in my garage, so I have to deal with that. Getting tires for that car isn't exactly the easiest. So I've owned the Tesla Model S Plaid for the last 14 months, and the majority of the ownership experience has been awesome. It's been great for content. It's also been really cool having a car with over 1,000 horsepower that does 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. I love the fact that it has autopilot. It's so nice for long commutes or if you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic. There are a ton of things I love about the car. But there's some things I absolutely hate, and I haven't experienced with any other auto manufacturer ever in my life. So here they are. Since I've owned the Tesla Model S Plaid, I have gotten 7 flat tires. Yes, that's right, 7. I've owned this car for 3.5 years, and actually coming up on 4 years now, and I've never gotten a single flat tire. Now, you could say it's bad luck, but there's actually some science behind it. My other friends with Tesla Model S Plaids have suffered a similar fate, and it really is a pain in the butt when it's on your daily driver. So why does it get flats more often? Well, a bunch of different reasons. The thing's really heavy. It's 4,500 pounds, and they've decided to put it on these 21-inch wheels with really low-profile tires. Now, that's fine if they're not high-performance tire and they have a thicker sidewall, but it's not fine when you've got a 4,600-pound sedan sitting on a really thin sidewall on a high-performance Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. It turns out the weight rating for the tire is basically inadequate to handle the Tesla. And Michelin has actually basically come out with a response to this with their up-and-coming Michelin Pilot Sport S5, I believe it's called, which is going to have a higher weight rating for a specific tire that's dedicated to heavier EVs. So basically, they've admitted the fact that the tire couldn't really withstand how heavy the car is. Now, if you get the 19-inch wheels, it is much less of a problem. You've got a thicker sidewall, and you've got that smaller wheel. The reason I got the 21s is, and this is another thing that really bugs me with Tesla, originally, I was told in order to get the 200-mile-an-hour top speed, which of course I still do not have, you have to get the 21-inch wheels. Now, that didn't really make any sense to me, but I thought, whatever, Tesla knows better, so I got the 21-inch wheels. The reason that bugs me is I knew I was gonna get upgraded wheels and put aftermarket wheels on the car. That's just what I wanted to do, and I had picked out some good ones and met up with Signature, and I just absolutely love the way the wheels look. So essentially, I paid $4,500 for the upgraded 21-inch wheels for the Tesla, only because I thought that was gonna reach that 200-mile-an-hour top speed, which would have been cool for half-mile racing events. Obviously, you're not going 200 on the street. It's starting to get windy outside, so I don't want the audio to be terrible. But yeah, so I'm annoyed at the 21-inch wheels because one, they lied about the top speed. I spent extra money on it, that's fine. But one of the biggest gripes is the flat tires. They get so many nail punctures, it's actually insane, and for whatever reason, because the tire size is super weird, that 21-inch high-performance, low-profile tire made for a sports sedan, it doesn't have the same size as your typical sports cars, right? So you can't put Audi R8 tires on the Plaid. So they don't make very many tires for the car, so sometimes you're SOL for like 3-4 months and you can't get a new tire. Now, I've plugged a bunch of the tires. This is 7 sets of flats, 7 new tires, independent from wear. I've probably had to buy like 12 different tires for the Model S Plaid since I've gotten the car, and they're about $500 a piece, so it's not exactly the most chill experience. But the thing that really bugs me the most, and I know it sounds a bit like I'm complaining here, it just seems like a little bit misleading on Tesla's part. The thing I hate the most is the MSRP drops. I've never witnessed this before with any other car. When I bought my Tesla Model S Plaid, I paid $139,400. And at the time, that seemed like a great deal. Obviously, very expensive, but for a 1,020 horsepower car, nice interior, autopilot, and all that, it seemed like a reasonable deal. And it was at the time, but here's the problem. Right after the Plaids came out, they were actually selling for significantly over sticker, 150, 160, 175, and the X's went upwards of 190 to 200. So that's cool. The point was not to flip the car, and I really am not huge on cars' values. I buy a car that I want to drive, and it's obviously a plus if it holds the value, but it's something to be expected, and it's not the end of the world if it depreciates. Obviously, the E63 I had depreciated like crazy. The Cullinan just plummeted down a hill. But this is a different scenario with Tesla. Instead of the used car market just supply and demand and adjusting the price, and over time as the miles increase, the cars are going to be worth less and less, they're more old news, Tesla did something that really bums me out, and that is price drop the car not once but twice. So originally for my spec I paid $139K, and to get my spec now it's $116K, and if you wanted to get a base model it's $109,000 for the Tesla Model S Plaid. So they've dropped the price not once but twice. Now, this is awesome for anyone who wants to buy a Plaid now. Super stoked for you guys. Honestly, some used Plaids are a hell of a deal right now, and maybe take advantage of it. Or wait a couple of years and they're gonna be even cheaper. But I don't love the fact that they've just price dropped the car, so all these Tesla fans who bought the Plaid, supported the brand, I'm invested in Tesla as well, which, you know, long-term has done great, but recently not doing so hot. But treating those customers basically like you don't care about them by dropping the price by $22,000 is a bummer, because basically you put every single person's loan underwater. At the time, interest rates were awesome. I got like 2.25%, so it made sense to finance it. And now my finance is completely underwater on the car. Before they did the price drops, I probably could have given the car to Tesla and gotten about $30,000, $35,000 back, I wanted to keep the car for a while, and I'm going to keep the car for a while. I'm not selling it, but there are a lot of people who are bummed out about this. So I'm not going to realize that loss, obviously, until I actually sell the car. At this point in time now, I'd probably have to give Tesla a $10,000 to $20,000 check and the car just to get out of the finance payments, which I'm definitely not going to do. It sounds like I'm going to be with the Tesla Plaid for a while now. There's one last thing, and it just feels so typical with all these other issues, and that was the Tesla full self-driving beta. Thankfully, I didn't pay the $12,000, and I believe it might even be more than that now, for the full self-driving beta. I simply subscribed to the service. Well, the problem was, it took me 7 to 9 months of payments before I was deemed eligible and driving well enough. And trust me, I wanted to make as much content on full self-driving as possible, so I tried every trick in the book to make sure that I got the perfect safety score. It was just really hard because I was using it as my daily driver, and every time somebody, it wasn't my driving, every time somebody on the freeway made a lane change in front of you, which seemed like a totally safe lane change, not overly close, didn't cut you off, it said that you're basically too close to the car in front of you and it would ding you points. There was a whole bunch of different things that it would just subtract points for. So I was pretty bummed that I was paying, I think it was $250 or $300 a month for 7 to 9 months, and I got nothing out of it. Literally nothing. They just took the money and went, oh, sorry, you don't qualify. Seems a little bit silly. Well, guys, let me know in the comment section below, do you think it's kind of weird and a little bit unfair to price drop cars? Just think of any car that you own and imagine if they just started giving that car out for $10,000 or $20,000 less. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it makes sense, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but I felt like it just seems a little bit unfair, especially the full self-driving beta, and then definitely they need to work on that tire issue because it's just absurd. It seems like they just didn't do enough testing, honestly, on the road, because if they had put tons and tons of miles on the 21-inch wheels with the 4S's that come on the car, there's no way they didn't get a whole bunch of flats, because everyone I know with 21s and the Plaid just get flats all the time. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.